Today on the Cincinnati and Dayton Sports Podcast, topics that are so overdone, they're congratulations. And welcome back to the Cincinnati and Dayton Sports Podcast, your source of local sports. Except for this episode, because I'm trying to branch out and do other things. So I had this thought for a while, and normally I complain about, how not good local radio is. But I wanted to talk about why I felt like that. And there are three topics that I want to cover today. These are, of course, my opinion only. You don't have to agree with my opinion. If you got your own opinion, then great. But no, it's my podcast. So these are three topics that have permeated local radio. I'm not even going to get into national radio because, honestly, it's different voices, same topics. It's just regurgitated over and over and over again. And most of the time, they're talking about NFL, but we're, just about ready to start MLB season. You know what I'm saying? I don't touch national radio. Pretty much the only time my radio's on is if there's a game I can listen to, and that's kind of it. So that's me in a nutshell. So overdone, and as you see from the episode art, two of the three topics are in there, and I bet you can already guess what they are. I did ask on Facebook and Threads about things that people thought were talked about too much, and I got a couple of suggestions and a couple people wanting to be guests on my podcast, even though, when they invite me to, they don't invite me to talk on theirs. Yeah, there's always one-sidedness, and I'm never, on the one side of things, am I? So, yep, pretty much I just said not looking for guests. Now I gotta scroll all the way down to Facebook, because this is 2 weeks ago since I did the last episode, hasn't it been? Do I say congratulations to Miami University football? They are the MAC champs. They knocked off Toledo. Great game, and yeah, that Redhawks team, 11-2, and beat another 11-2 team in Toledo, 23-14. 2 field goals and an extra point blocked. Chuck Martin's got himself quite the program in Oxford. It's just too bad no one talks about it in Dayton, because there's only one football team in the area. And again, that is, talked about a little bit later. So Jesus Jimenez, who was part of Pal Item when I was the voice of the Richmond River Rats on audio, talked about the first topic, which I'll hold off until I get there. And Andy Armstrong mentioned Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I'm not going to lie to you, that was a good one. Then I'm just like, it's more the media pushing it down our throats. I don't really have a problem with them dating. And I don't have a problem with, Swift. Don't like her music, but she's all right. And Kelce, keep your mouth shut. I know you went to school at UC, but keep your mouth shut. Okay, thanks. So, and then the rest is like, you need to have this person on your podcast. If you need a guest, I can call in, lol. And I'm like, nah. So, there we go. Let's go ahead and jump into topic number 1. And that's Jordan versus LeBron. My goodness. I heard this on 980 about a month ago, because I've had this idea for that long. And they're talking about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. Again? Doesn't national sports radio talk about that crap too much? I mean, all it's making me think is... seriously, how many times are people going to bring that up as a topic? That is such the laziest topic. Both are great players. Here's my stance. Michael Jordan, great player. Wish I watched him as a kid, because I wasn't into sports until the 2000s. And I knew about Jordan being a wizard, but no. Whereas, LeBron James, I've been able to follow along his career more closely because guess what? I was into sports at that time. Both are great players. Both are greats. I don't understand why it's constantly, oh, hey, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Could LeBron James compete in Michael Jordan's age? Like, that is truly the lazy way of pushing time on your show. And I wish that was an automatic disqualification. Because, good Lord, if I had a radio show that I ran by myself, I could certainly think of more topics that isn't LeBron versus Jordan. They're both great players. And you know what's damning about all this? There's never anything new added. I mean, outside LeBron James, he continues to play. I don't know how much longer he has as a pro. But my God, nothing else has changed. Michael Jordan's stats haven't, just disappeared out of thin air. Stop talking about that. There are better topics. Both are great athletes. Both do deserve celebration, but that's just dragging both of them through the mud. I mean, my God, it's just, and this is on Dayton radio. I can't really pinpoint any local, connection Michael Jordan has to Dayton or Cincinnati, other than, people in Cincinnati and Dayton know about Michael Jordan, probably rooted for him. Whereas LeBron James, he does have a little connection. His, junior or senior team at St. Vincent St. Mary's lost the state title to Kettering Alter. So, score one for us. And now here come the topics. Is Alter better than LeBron James? And it's like, how are you going to compare a private school in Kettering to one of the best basketball players we have in our time? I don't get it. And it's just, again, my take, both are great players, but why do you have to compare them? Like, seriously. I mean, Michael Jordan's last year playing pro basketball is 2003. 2003. Wasn't that the first year LeBron James entered the NBA? I know, it's how media is. It's annoying. It's like, think of better things. Like, maybe do LeBron versus Steph. That'd be fine. Steph Curry, or, Kevin Durant. Like, at least where he's actually played against. You know what I mean? It's just, again, honestly, you can think of better topics, especially since, you're in Dayton. How about talk about Dayton area sports? You know what I mean? Haven't heard a word about Dayton Flyers football. Haven't heard a word about Miami Redhawks football. And I have heard about UC football because I listen to Cincinnati Sports Radio more than anything. And yeah, I also follow along. I know UC football was not good this year. It was not a good year, but got our first Big 12 win. We didn't go winless in that stretch, so hooray us. Yeah. And that'll bring me up to my second topic of this episode. That team in Columbus coverage outside of Columbus. Yeah, I know. Big surprise for those that know me and my fandom, which does not include that team in Columbus. I have a big problem with this one. We get it. You don't like the city you're in. If you want to talk about that team in Columbus, maybe work in Columbus. I don't know. I always had this issue because why do we give all of our resources to that team in Columbus? Why am I supposed to root for that team in Columbus because you do, because you got your gear at Walmart or any other store, and you didn't even go to that team in Columbus? My dad is an Ohio State grad. He is not a Buckeye fan. Well, a crazed Buckeye fan, let's add to that. But he's not really into sports either, so, So, yeah, it'd be part of the family, but no. I actually, have an individual taste in teams that I like. And pretty much they're all around Cincinnati and Dayton. It does not include that team in Columbus. So Columbus is about an hour away from Dayton, and that's if you go speed limit. If you don't, then it's about 45 minutes. But every time I turn on either 980 or 1410, what's the topic? It is always about that team in Columbus. And who do they play? Who was that one school that North Dakota State just beat by like 94? Oak Hills Christian, yeah, that's on Ohio State's radar for the next infinity years. Yeah, overcovered. So overcovered that you lost your congratulations and it's turned back into carbon. Blech. Every time I hear the radio. If it was sometimes, I would just shut it off and this episode wouldn't exist, but it's every time. And I'm in my car at least 6 days a week. At least. And every time it's time for local sports talk show to come on, what's the topic? Oh, that player from that team in Columbus took a dump. Let's talk 3 hours about it. No. Get better topics. Or better yet, talk about the teams that are actually in the city you work in. If you don't know much about the teams that are in the city you work in, find out about them. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of great people that have worked at these great institutions. You don't always have to talk about that team in Columbus. I mean, good Lord. Not even in the playoffs, but yet you all expect us to worship them like they're God's gift to green earth. No, I ain't doing that. And I implore people that have an open mind, maybe think about that. You don't have to root for that team in Columbus just because they're in the center of the state. I know this is going to fly over people's heads and people are going to, send me death threats. What's new? I'll look forward to your letters on X because, you're that great of a human being. But, it's overcovered. And this goes well beyond radio. It's TV. It's newspaper. It's like, I see more about that team in Columbus than I do the local teams. And this is during high school football season. Gee, how many high school football teams are in the area? Like 1 billion trillion? I counted. Okay, maybe not that many. But there's a lot. And it's sickening. Again, Miami won the MAC. 11-2. They're heading to one of the bowls, which we'll cover a little bit later because I forgot to look up which bowl they were invited to. But Miami is bowl eligible. And guess what? As the MAC champion, they got a pretty decent one. I don't think it's the Potato Bowl, which I don't even know if that exists. But honestly, it wouldn't bother me so much if it wasn't every day. But it's every day. And it's annoying. And also, fight me if you want, or go argue with a brick wall. Ohio State has some of the worst fan base ever. I get constantly threatened, insulted, get thrown the 3-letter F word, the 6-letter F word, just because I don't like that team in Columbus. Why? Because my tastes don't align with yours, and I actually have an individual personality to it? And also, why are you complaining about Michigan cheating when you guys do shady stuff all the damn time? You don't cheat? How sus of you. Yeah, I actually went and said sus. But honestly, yeah, you could look at that program, I mean, Urban Meyer showed his true colors when he was head coach at Jacksonville. He's kicking his own players. You can't tell me he didn't do that at that team in Columbus. You just can't. But turn a blind eye. You know what's really irritating me? How you all turn a blind eye and blame the victim of domestic abuse. So yeah, up yours, that team in Columbus fans. Oy, you can see I'm heated too. And, if you don't like the stuff I just complained about, like, crimes and whatnot, if you're an actual, reasonable, legit fan, then that's fine. I don't have a problem with you. I have the problem that most of the fans are bullies and just not good people all around. So, yeah, that team in Columbus coverage, knock it off and think about actually covering your local schools instead. And last up, I'm definitely going to have to pick a side here because, it's one of my teams. But I've never heard a team get trashed like the Bengals have. I mean, seriously. Okay, so let me add this point before I continue on. 980 and that sports talk show, they're about even keel with, Bengals and Browns coverage, which, fine. Cleveland is about 3 hours away from us, but that's fine. I get it. Browns were the only team for a while before the Bengals arrived in the late 60s. I get it. I'm not arguing about that. But my God, the bashing of the Bengals, you really have nothing else to talk about, don't you? So, again, the other team in the state, the Browns, history-wise, yeah, there's some championships, but no Super Bowls. And everyone likes to think, Browns fans it is, everyone likes to think you're in the middle of a dynasty right now, like a New England era dynasty. Guess what? You're not. And just bashing on Mike Brown and the Bengals is like, pick something else, man. Just, you find that big pinata and just keep swinging at it, even though you knocked it down about 2 hours ago and you already cleaned up the remains. Like, seriously. Your old spiel of, oh, hey, Mike Brown doesn't spend money. Mike Brown doesn't know what he's doing. Lol, Bengals. Yeah, the Browns, 0-16. Yeah, terrible. Les terribles in French, I guess. It's probably not even French. But, yeah, just the treatment of the Bengals is just so gross. Browns ran their best quarterback out of town, and then you want to sign a guy that's guilty of molesting masseuses. And, in fact, okay, so not charged criminally, but was found guilty in civil court, which civil is money, criminal is law. You get that, okay? Good. Just before any Browns fans like, oh my God, you're so biased. Everyone else is. Why can't I be? Oh, right. Because there's this unfair air against me. But we'll talk about that some other time. Because I want to keep this episode kind of short. Whenever I hear someone say, oh, the Bengals don't have any Super Bowl titles. When's the last Browns one? Oh, yeah, the Bengals weren't a team yet. I mean, they were in the 30s. Are you counting those still? I mean, you're treating those like Super Bowl titles, and guess what? There are none. How many Super Bowls have the Browns been to? None? Oh, okay. Yeah, the Bengals are 0-3, but 3. How many have the Browns been again? None? How many do I see the Browns ever getting to before I perish? Or, find a job? None? Yeah, that's what I thought. You ran Baker Mayfield out of town because he played while injured, trying to prove that he's all about the team. Meanwhile, your current quarterback, who's on the IR, couldn't care less about his team. And he's sitting in the suites like, oh my God, time to get a happy ending. Which, by the way, the fans that really love that stuff up, get out of town and do better as a human being, okay? Thanks. You talk about how the Bengals spend no money, but yet Joe Burrow and at one time Carson Palmer were the highest paid in the field. Right. And I don't want to hear about, Joe Burrow was injured before the road Baltimore game, because guess what? He wasn't. That's a compression glove that you can use to help write on tablets. And guess what, NFL and that guy from Stool and, everyone else, he wasn't hurt. The Bengals didn't do anything wrong. Get off your witch hunt and, look at some other things. Jesus. The way that Cleveland Browns fans talk, you think you're in the middle of a dynasty, but you're not. You have been terrible. You want to run your head coach out of town, yet he's been the best coach you've had since returning to the NFL. And probably the best since Marty Schottenheimer. I I'm not including Bill Belichick because you're seeing now what he is without Tom Brady. Although, I mean, he was in a Kaufman's catalog, which is kind of like Pittsburgh's version of Lazarus at one point. But yeah, like Browns fans, you have no room to talk. And you're a game up. Woohoo. Go celebrate your paper soft schedule, your cupcake schedule with your Buckeyes, and, cheer when that team in Columbus plays Oak Hills Christian and beats them by 1,000,000. And is that team in Columbus the best team ever? I know I'm crossing topics, but Buckeyes fans turn out to be mostly Browns fans. Oh, yeah. Kill two birds with one stone. That's what I say. So, yeah, just the skew of the Bengals is so unfair. And who's got the brighter future? Declining Deshaun Watson or Joe Burrow, who is helping his team when he's on season-ending IR? Yeah, Joe Burrow's helping Jake Browning run the team. And guess what? With Browning under center, Bengals are 2-1. They could have been 3-0, but some unlucky bounces, and Browning was just okay in that first game against Pittsburgh. Luckily, we got the Steelers on the road, so we can prove, maybe that game was a fluke. But honestly, I mean, that's just me. And you can also make the argument that it's sour grapes because I can't get a job in this field. Maybe so, but those are 3 overdone topics, so overdone that the steak has just disappeared into dust. That's how overdone it is. That's how bad you burn it. I wouldn't trust you with a bowl of cereal, to be honest with you. And hey, a bonus topic, because why the hell not? Star Wars night. Are teams really still doing these? With how many Star Wars nights I see just teams across the country do, you think that there's like a billion trillion Star Wars movies. There isn't. There might be a billion trillion movies, series, Christmas specials. Yeah, Star Wars Christmas or the holiday special. No, that's great. Just branch out more, please. Like, how many more Star Wars nights can we really have in sports? You're going to run out of ideas. You already run out of ideas. Stop doing Star Wars nights. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And that's wrapping up the Rant Fest. Like I said, all my opinions, you can argue with a brick wall if yours differ, because guess what? I don't care. And you can also think it's sour grapes because, the employers around here don't think I'm worth anything, which, hooray. And you can also say, well, yeah. So honestly, I'm tired of hearing about those things. I'm tired of seeing Star Wars nights, but they still keep making them. I don't know why. I mean, there's other franchises to tag into. I'm done talking about that. But yeah, about a 25-minute rant fest about how I think that hosts should stop talking about LeBron versus Jordan, how the coverage on that team in Columbus is so overdone, and, the bashing of the Bengals when you consider the Browns to be this high and mighty entity of sports success when, oh yeah, they're not. And the original Browns team, they're in Baltimore. Pretty successful franchise over there. So give my tip of the hat to the Ravens because they're actually doing stuff that the Browns couldn't do for a long time, and that's win Super Bowls. They do have a lengthy playoff drought. I think their last playoff win was, 2015? Sure, we'll go 2015. But it's just, it's so overdone. Like me saying overdone, that's overdone. But again, it was just an idea for me to actually force myself to record. I know it's taken me, 2 weeks instead of, the 86,000 months. No, the week I was hoping for, but hey, life happens sometimes. So there you go. Could it be that, I'm just not part of the cool kids club with that team in Columbus? No, honestly, I think there coverage is well overdone. We have 2 D1 schools in the immediate Dayton area. We got one in Oxford. We got a couple in the Cincinnati area. UC is now a Power 5 school, so you can cover them. I wish I could get by Xavier, but yeah. I mean, that game was a lot of fun. The crosstown shootout. Always have to think, is it shootout or showdown? Showdowns for football, shootouts for basketball. Glad we had this talk. Congrats, by the way, to the Xavier men and the Cincinnati women for winning their share of the shootout. And why can't we have anything like that in Dayton? Because no one forces it. They'd rather talk about that team in Columbus beating, an elementary school and think, oh, they're on the way to a championship. That's what I say. And no, I know that team in Columbus is not the only team that schedules teams outside Division I. I know this. All the teams do it. It's something that irks me. I mean, come on. I'd rather see your D1 talent go against D1 talent. Exhibitions, fine. That's a different beast. That's a different horse of a different color. But, come on. I mean, NAIA, NCCAA schools in your Division I, I don't like it. I never have. But, there you go. Again, all my opinion. Your opinions probably differ. So, don't change a thing. Looking forward to all the death threats I get, because I dare to voice my opinion on stuff. How do we fix it? We don't. I can want change, but until I'm actually hired and, prove that I'm not full of crap on my resume, nothing's going to change. You're going to hear the same coverage of that team in Columbus. You're going to hear the Browns being worshipped as this team that can do no wrong, and AFC North contenders when was the last time they won an NFC North title? Oh, right. Never. Okay, then. Glad we had this talk. So, yeah, things aren't going to change. This podcaster's pissed. Yeah. And I'm just tired of talking now. So, thanks for listening to the Cincinnati Dayton Sports Podcast. On the next episode, we'll actually talk about local sports. It's a pity that's not covered here in Dayton, but what can you do? We'll talk about a couple topics. At the end of the Bengals season, I'll have a recap of that. Talk about some of the big free agent signings that the Reds have made to bolster their bullpen and infield, which I know Reds fans like, but why do we need the infield bolstered? We've had really good infield. Well, I mean, that's for that episode to talk about. And I got a couple more. I have a few episode arts that I've already done. There is one that's concerning to me, and we'll probably talk about that coming up soon, as it's hockey season. It's high school hockey season. Celebrate and, follow along because it's hockey season. So, for everyone involved, which would just be me, this is Lee W. Mountain signing off on the Cincinnati and Dayton Sports Podcast, where we talked about overdone topics, and I'm done. See you next time. Thank you for listening to the Cincinnati and Dayton Sports Podcast with Lee W. Mowen. Be sure to bookmark cindaypod.com, spelled CINDAYPOD, the official website of the podcast. You can find your favorite ways of listening to the Local Cin-Day Sports Podcast, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon Music, the iHeartRadio app, and many more. You can also purchase merchandise from TeePublic and Redbubble to help support the podcast. Follow on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at CinDayPod, and the host at the Lee W. Mowen. The closing theme is Cosmopolitan from Pecan Pie on Upbeat. This is Lee W. Mowen signing off another episode of the Cincinnati and Dayton Sports Podcast. Thank you for your continued listenership, and join me on the next episode.